I have my accredited certification for sound therapy for chakra healing. Lucky for all of you, though, this talk isn't about 528 hertz or the root chakra, because I don't really know anything about that. In fact, the TEDx rules specifically don't allow talks about pseudoscience, even if I did believe it. When I say I'm certified, though, some of you hold me up to be the expert or even credible. But I can guarantee you that my $13.99 and the hour I spent watching videos on the internet hardly makes me someone you would even want to have an intelligent conversation with on the topic. Being certified does not equal being qualified. I'm a certified bartender. Now, to be fair, that class was a little longer, there were some more videos, and there was even a test at the end. But there was not any practical skills learned, and there also wasn't a way I couldn't just open another web browser and copy the answers into the test form. I'm a certified pet trainer. I'm also highly allergic to cats and allergic to most dogs, too. You know, if you need a certified e-marketing strategist, a certified green living specialist, certified crystal healer, a certified LGBTQ coach, a certified bud tender, level 2, or even a expert level certified photographer. I'm all of those, all earned through very little effort, watching videos on the internet, clicking in my credit card, and downloading and printing papers out of my laser printer. I'm also an ordained minister at an online-only church that just so happens to seem to have a larger part of their website be the gift shop than anything about theology. Diet coach. I almost forgot my favorite one. I am a certified diet coach. If you call up and ask for a certified diet coach and I show up at your door, you're going to think you got duped. But no, really. Now, you might have seen I only have my temporary certificate because the one without the watermark actually costs more. But because in most jurisdictions, there are no rules or laws around the profession of coaching, I can open a store, start a website, and start soliciting clients for my services. Free advice, and really the only part I kind of remember from the videos at all, was to exercise more and eat less. So why did I even go through this entire process of multiple certifications? It all started out, I saw an ad on social media. There was a lady, she really wanted to hire a certified photographer. Well, I really am a photographer, and I have a lot of highly talented photographer friends, and Some great people were answering her ad, but this lady was absolutely adamant that whoever that she hired for this project be certified. What does that even mean? There are several professional photography organizations that have courses to be certified. You can get certificates in photography from colleges or art schools. But me, $25 and about 2 hours later, I too was an expert level certified photographer. I really had no interest in this lady's project. She actually seemed like quite a bit of work. But it got me thinking, if getting certified is so easy, how valuable could it possibly be? I've been a photographer for over 25 years and full-time for over a decade, and nobody's ever asked me about my schooling or my new certification. They want to look at my portfolio. They want to look at the skills that I have. This is a much more reliable way of determining someone's capabilities than looking at a simple certification. This whole project really didn't take that much effort. I started out by making a few rules for myself. First, I set a budget. You can find certification programs from $0 all the way up to thousands of dollars. None of my certifications cost more than $50. Second, I set a time limit. I wasn't going to spend more than 10 hours on any given certification. And third, I was only really going to do this online. I wasn't going to actually go to class. I wasn't actually going to interact with people. All of my certifications seem to be backed by reputable organizations that kind of sound like things that you might have heard of before, but they're not. I admit some of my certificates are utterly worthless. But I did learn a few things along the way. I am a bud tender, level 2. So what does that mean? For those of you that aren't familiar, a bud tender is someone who's knowledgeable about cannabis and might help people at a dispensary. Well, I learned that in growing cannabis, apparently you have to keep the male and the female plant separate. That's actually really important. And I also learned sticky icky is apparently the really good stuff. A good practice when evaluating someone's claimed certification is to look back at the certifying organization. Who created the training? Who upholds the standards? When I look at my crystal healing certificate, which again I don't believe in, it only lists who actually made the videos that I had to watch for the course. Buyer beware though, because if you hired me to crystal heal you, I lost a little chart for my box that tells me like what's a quartz and what's an amethyst and what's a tiger's eye. I might think I'm lowering your stress, but I might be bringing you good luck by mistake. I don't want anyone to think that certified is a bad word. You know, there are fields where certifications are a mark of rigorous training and professionalism. You might be watching this talk in the United States of America right around tax time, and there's a profession here, a certified public accountant, a CPA. To become a CPA, you have to start with 120 college credit hours. And then you have to take a 4-part exam. which is my understanding you can't just open another web browser and cheat on. And then you have to take 15 more college credit hours. And then you have to work a year in the field of accounting, and then you can apply for your certification. Another example is certified physician's assistant. This course is thousands of hours, followed by a national exam, again proctored, so you can't cheat, before you're able to become certified and then practice. These are real professionals holding real barriers of entry into what are really prestigious occupations. Certification does not translate into skills. Talking about dog training, I am around my brother's dog a couple of times a year. And every morning, I get up, the dog comes up to me with those big puppy eyes, and he just looks hungry. So, I know where the treats are, and I can grab some treats, or maybe I'll put some food down for him. Every single time I find out later, that dog had already been fed. He's the one training me. Before trusting someone throwing around their certifications, look beyond the paper. Look into their skills. Look at their portfolio. Ask for references. Ask for reviews. Don't let what can be a worthless piece of paper be your guide to hiring someone for professional services. You might end up with someone like me ringing a bell and holding up crystals in hopes that I can coach your gay dog into losing weight. Thank you.